Hey guys, Alice back. Okay, so full disclosure, I am not sure how if I'm gonna get through this song. Um, I know you guys said when I had talked about me having cancer before that I should watch this. Um, and I kind of put it off because I just don't know what it's gonna be like. So I'm gonna watch and find out. For those who have not seen the video, because I honestly don't even know what video I set it in, I am considered to be in remission. It's been over 5 years. I had an extremely rare form of cancer, sinus cancer called phenotypic sinonasal sarcoma. It's a mouthful. Um, the only reason I'm alive is because the cancer actually started in my skull bone, right between my nose and orbit of my right eye, and it grew down. If it had grown up, I would not be here because the whole, oh my gosh, the whole thing was just a several year journey. And they removed a total of one, two, three, 4, 5 tumors from above my shoulders within a 3 year span. And it was weird because I went in because I thought I had type 2 diabetes. My A1C was like perfect, like literally dead perfect. And they tested my thyroid, found out my parathyroid level and my thyroid levels and my calcium levels were just off the charts. Um, Parathyroid levels usually are about max out at 68. Mine was 404, and the medical staff wanted to know how it was still upright. Um, so they found out I had a lemon-sized tumor in my thyroid and a grape-sized tumor on the left side where you have 4 parathyroid glands around your thyroid. They're like the size of a grain of rice. So a grape-sized tumor took out both of the ones on my left side. The ones on my right side are fine. Your parathyroids control your calcium levels, which is kind of important. And then I lost most of my thyroid. And then, like 6 months after that, my thyroid just said screw it. So now I have to take Synthroid um, for the rest of my life in order to live. I cannot take the generic version because every time I say I take Synthroid, somebody has to comment, why not take the generic version? For whatever reason, the generic version gives me nasty insomnia. Like, I cannot sleep, which then, of course, screws up the rest of my system. Um, and unfortunately, my health insurance does not cover name brand medications. So, yeah, I'm paying out of pocket for that, and it's not cheap. Uh, but when I went in for a recheck for that, for the parathyroid and the thyroid tumors, I mentioned that I had a lump behind my left ear, and my doctor just looked at me and was like, "Are you serious?" And he checked, and he goes, "Well." He's a South Korean doctor. He has a warped sense of humor, so I really like him. And he's like, "You know what? You just became my problem patient." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because that's a tumor." So he sent me for a scan to double check. Yes, it was a tumor. So I went back to talk to him about surgery for that one. And he said, "We have an issue." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "Yeah, now you really are my problem patient because when we looked at the tumor behind your ear, we saw something in the back of the scan. I need you to go get an MRI of your upper head, basically from the mouth up." I went, "Okay." Got the scan, went back to the doctor again, and he said, "You've got a sinus tumor." Okay. So he was going to go in and remove both tumors at the same time. When I woke up, he came in when I was, halfway coherent, and he said, okay, we got the tumor. It was a salivary tumor behind my left ear. He said, but I could not remove the one in your sinus. Why not? He said, because I don't know what it is. He said it looked like a normal tumor, and then he started to remove it and realized something was wrong. It did not look like a benign tumor, but it didn't, but it was, he said it looked like both, and he had no idea what he was dealing with, so he stopped because he did not want to cause any more damage. He said, unfortunately, I have to send you to a specialist. So I had to drive an hour away at the time. Now it'd be 2 hours away, but I had to drive to the specialist, and he informed me that this tumor looked like it was close to my brain, if not touching my brain, and very close, if not into my right eye orbit. So it wasn't a small tumor. It was a pretty good size. And he said, the surgery is either going to be you're in and out on an outpatient the same day, or you're in the ICU for a week or two, you lose your eye and part of your brain. And I'm like, that's a pretty extreme one end to the other, or anywhere in the middle. He said, I honestly, because I had to go back and do another scan for him, a specialized scan, he said, I can't tell how involved this tumor is between your skull, your brain, and your eye. So I went in, woke up, I kept my eye, I kept my brain, but I lost part of my skull. And he had to take the tissue from inside my sinus and basically super glue it to hold my brain and spinal fluid up in my head where it belongs. So if I ever start suddenly getting a runny nose out my right nostril, I have to go to the emergency room immediately, because that means the tissue has failed. Fun times. So anytime I get a really bad runny nose, I'm like, wait, is this allergies, or am I about to die? So then they found out, once he got it out, he said he wasn't even sure what the heck he was dealing with, because he said it was nothing like he's ever seen. This is his specialty. He deals with sinus tumors. And he said, I have never seen this. He said, I've been doing the surgery like this for 20 years. I have never seen this. I don't know what this is. So they sent it to MD Anderson in NIH after the pathologist at this hospital, which is a very big hospital in the area. It's a teaching hospital too. The pathologist said, I think I know what this is, but this is extremely rare. I need confirmation, which is when he sent the samples to NIH and MD Anderson, and they both came back going, yeah, this is it. This is what you thought it was. This is biphenotypic sinonasal sarcoma. It's a mouthful. And the doctor said, this is extremely rare. You are so rare that I am preparing a case study. I have to take this to the board of doctors for this hospital, for the cancer board, because I don't know how to treat this. Chemo doesn't touch it. The only thing that might work is radiation, but it is right by your eye and right at your brain. We can't do radiation. I don't know what we're going to do. So he was 100% positive he got it all. And basically it was wait and see to see if it started growing again. And it has not, thankfully. Thank you, Lord. Knock on wood. For 5 years it has not. But I do have to have, it was like scans every 3 months, then every 6 months, and now I'm at every year. I have to do scans. So fun times. Very fun times. Oh, and it has a 30% chance of returning. And I can't remember if I said, but I have some suspicions on what caused this, which, I could, again, conspiracy theory, but I really am suspicious about a certain thing causing this. We'll find out, though. If it comes back and I'm not near the item I was near this whole time, then that wasn't it. So, loads of background for a song. But I don't think I ever got into the full details of it. But yeah. So if it comes back and it grows up, I'm dead. If it comes back and it grows down, I get to repeat. And it sucked because I literally could not look down for a month. I could not cough hard. I could not sneeze hard. I mean, my son had to take 3 weeks off of work to work on the farm and take care of me because I literally could not look at my feet. I had to hold my head upright. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. It's amazing how much you look down when you're doing stuff with you don't even realize it until you can't. So, let's see if I can get through the song after all that.
Everybody knows someone who's sick. 40% will get cancer. Only half's gonna live. Your mom and your dad and your sister stand inside a room, and someone won't survive it. Do you hope it isn't you? I swear that cancer has a cure, but they're refusing to make it. They've done like 40 years of research, 90 billion in donations. We've been running for the cure and wearing ribbons for ages. Why are people still going through radiation?
So, interesting thing. All those ribbons and stuff, like breast cancer awareness hardly gets any of that, if any. A lot of the Think Pink and stuff doesn't go to breast cancer awareness. So when you're donating to cancer research, make sure you know exactly what you're donating to. It's the same reason I will not donate to Wounded Warrior Project anymore, because I found out all the stuff they did. So I only donate to local VA, local charities. I keep all my stuff to local charities now. But, there was something he said. Yeah. So the thing that happened a few years ago, and that might be happening again this fall, election year, go figure, that they were saying, at the time, oh, we don't know where it's coming from, completely ignoring the fact that we had a lab in California. And the pharmaceutical companies have tried for decades to get a vaccine for the common cold, which that is the same, virus group. And they have been unable to do it, yet within a short time period, they managed to, and none of the mRNA jab had anything that they have ever worked on has worked, yet suddenly this one does. That's another whole soapbox, but the point of is they managed to pull something supposedly together within a short time period, yet they've been working on cancer, and each form of cancer has like their own research team and their own charities, yet nobody has been able to get a cure. Really?
For the cure and wearing ribbons for ages. Why are people still going through radiation? It's crazy. $100 billion industry, they can't afford to end it, and nobody wants to die. Our only option is to spend it. We'd give anything to stick around for just another second. Give a fortune to the doctors who promise they can extend it. The profits are astronomical. The hospitals and the clinics are filling coffins with dollars. It's awful, let's just admit it. We're all human, we'll keep fighting because it's how we survive. But it's scary because we don't know where we'll go when we die. Don't give up, I know you're strong. Show them all your fire. The days are hard, the nights
See, I think this is the hardest thing is when the kids get sick. Um, when my second daughter looked like a linebacker and bald as a bat up until the age of like 3. But when she was 1 or 2, I was sitting next to military hospital. I was sitting next to a younger girl. Well, actually, to me now she was younger. Back then she was the same age I was. But she had a little one running around who was bald. And I said, "Oh, my daughter's not going to feel alone now because your daughter's bald as well." And she said, "Well, my daughter has leukemia." I felt like an inch tall. And yeah, I think that is. I can handle having cancer. I have no issues with that. I have no issues if it takes my life. But my children, whole different subject. I will fight tooth and nail. But there's also that issue of if they say you have 6 months left and chemo can get you an extra 3 months, but you're going to be extra sick for the 3 months or whatever, 60 days, whatever it is you have to go through of chemo. Is it worth it? Me personally, no, it's not. So, if this comes back and it does start to grow up into my brain, my only option is possible radiation. And, at that point, is it worth it? I don't know. But for children, I'm one of those people that for a child, that is a very difficult decision because as a parent, making that decision on whether or not to let your child go has to be one of the most difficult decisions a parent ever has to make.
Nothing matters if you don't have your health. All the money in the world doesn't help. The good might go to heaven and the bad might go to hell, but no one wants to leave here, you can tell. And cancer touches everyone, it's in our genetics. And our world's become so toxic, it's all carcinogenic. We've polluted the water, the air, the food we're ingesting is full of hormones and poison. Our population's infected. They sell us cigarettes and liquor, built a business on addictions. We've been paying them to kill ourselves. We're dying to keep living. It's the...
Oh, wow, there's a truth bomb. We're paying them to kill ourselves. I mean, we have like a lot of people who say the chemicals on the food and so forth aren't bad. Well, I can tell you that's wrong and people need to keep in mind there's a difference between hybrid food and genetically modified food. And I have had arguments with people over genetically modified food, corn specifically. I cannot have GMO corn. I have been tested. I have been blind tested. If I have GMO corn, anything made with GMO corn, hello dextrose, I get extremely sick, which is a whole nother story that I'm not going to go into right now. But that's one of the food sensitivities I have. I have a daughter who gets very sick over GMO soybeans. At first we thought she had the corn sensitivity as well, but hers is soybeans. That's it's amazing what's made out of those two ingredients that you don't realize until you eat something and then you end up throwing up. But I had someone tell me that feeding my animals a soy-free feed is stupid because the feed doesn't get into the muscles. And I'm like, yes, it does. You go ask any celiac who eats meat and ends up extremely sick. whether that grain gets in there or not. It does. It 100% does. And we can tell here when, yeah, we had a neighbor give us some eggs one time, and my daughter ended up getting sick. And then I found out that she didn't realize her chicken feed had soy in it. So, yeah, because I don't know where the heck my chickens are laying eggs right now. I can't find them. In fact, I'm missing a chicken. I don't know where she went either. She's probably laying on the eggs, and I'm probably going to end up with chicks in about 30 days. But, yeah, I may have to start this video over because I am doing a lot of talking.
System, it's a prison, we keep trying to beat it. We get cancer from keeping all of our demons a secret, and our insurance don't cover the things we need to defeat it. And even if it does, then we might die from the treatment. Our best defense is living like we do not know what cancer is. Fight it if you have it and pray that there's something after this. Don't give up, I know you're strong. Show them all your fire. The days are hard, the nights are long. But you are a fighter when it's dire. You burn brighter in the dark. You're a survivor when you're tired. You hold tighter, you have heart. You won't know how to be brave till you choose to fight when you're afraid. And you can experience strength till you struggle to carry the weight.
True.
And you won't know why you have faith till you look the devil in his face.
Also true.
And you don't know what you can take till you realize you didn't break. Don't give up, I know you're strong. Show them all your fire. The days are hard, the nights are long. But you are a fighter when it's dire. You burn brighter in the dark. You're a survivor when you're tired. You hold tighter, you have heart.
Yeah, I really can't think of anything to add to that. So, love you guys. You have a great day.